we are true fighters.
Yeah, two fighters.
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk shit about the fight because they want to sell it. Talk, yeah. But people know we are great fighters. We want to put a great fight. Yeah. We don't need to talk
I am sure in the end, in the mid of September, we will have one of the greatest fights ever happen in boxing. And I am sure.
Canelo Álvarez vs. Terence Crawford is expected to be one of the biggest boxing bouts in history, as both fighters are current champions and are regarded by fans as legends. Terence Crawford, meanwhile, recently released a new training video showing him looking sharp, fast, and intensely focused. He moves smoothly, throws rapid punches, and steps with precise accuracy. Fans are excited because they believe he's in top condition as he prepares for what may be the biggest fight of his career. Also, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. said that Canelo Álvarez is too big and strong for Terence Crawford. He mentioned that Crawford hasn't fought at that weight in a long time and doesn't appear strong enough to make Canelo respect him. Chavez Jr. believes Canelo has a significant advantage in the fight, possibly by a margin of 80-20 or 70-30. He admits Crawford is fast, but doesn't think that will be enough. Chavez Jr. also added that Canelo is an excellent boxer who has always done his job well. He said having Canelo's support matters greatly, since many fans in Mexico and beyond will stand behind him. He also expressed surprise at seeing Jake Paul support Canelo.
Canelo es muy fuerte, bueno y grande para Crawford. O sea, el tiempo que él tiene peleando en ese peso. Yo, Canelo, 80-20, 70-30, Canelo. Yo no veo de dónde Crawford puede ganar.
Rapidez de Crawford.
Sí, o sea, rapidez de Crawford, pero no tiene la potencia como para Canelo lo respete. Parece vamos a...
He talked about the upcoming fight between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford. Crawford described Bud as a wizard in the ring, more experienced than boxers like Teofimo Lopez and Roy Jones Jr. He believes that if anyone can beat Canelo right now, it's Bud. However, Bullet pointed out that Canelo's movement and mobility have declined with age and that he no longer engages the way he used to. He advised Crawford not to go head-to-head with Canelo early in the fight, but instead turn it into a technical boxing match. This would allow Crawford to test Canelo's stamina in the later rounds and aim for a decision win. If the opportunity to finish him appears, take it, but only when it's certain.
And I think you mentioned Bud was going to beat Canelo?
Yeah, like I said, Bud is a magician, like Teofimo and like Roddy, but just more seasoned than the both of those other two. Bud could do it if anybody could do it. At this age, Canelo's movement and mobility is not the same. He's not engaging like he did before, but I want to advise Bud to stand toe-to-toe with him. I would drag him into a boxing match and see his condition and his movement in the later rounds and try to win on points.
Coach Bullet also made it clear that Canelo shouldn't be underestimated. At 168 pounds, he referred to Canelo as the king of that division. And while Canelo's loss at 175 pounds exposed his limitations at higher weights, he remains a threat as super middleweight. Bullet compared Canelo's previous bout against Erislandy Lara, saying Lara outpointed him similarly to how Dimitri Bivol did at 175. Still, Canelo won the decisions, likely due to his strategy and reputation. Bullet concluded by saying Crawford has a legitimate chance, calling it a true 50-50 bout despite the challenges ahead.
Pound for pound at 168, we cannot take a Canelo at 168 lightly against Bud Crawford. You see what I'm saying? Canelo is the kingpin of 68. He may have lost at 75 trying to jump out the gym for greatness. You know what I'm saying? The Skull performance was, you know, Skull is a mover, like the Erislandy Lara. You know what I'm saying? Lara, to me, beat Canelo, and I feel like Skull really outpointed him, but because of the movement and the game plan ahead, they gave it to Canelo. You understand what I'm saying? So, Bud, I hope you can do it. Canelo that's his division. He was born to fight that weight, and it's just a tough one. But I will give Bud a fair shot. So it's a 50-50 fight.
However, during the fight build-up, Canelo Álvarez made it clear that the upcoming bout would be between two genuine boxers, not entertainers or social media stars. He mentioned that both he and Terence Crawford are true professionals who don't rely on trash talk to create hype. Canelo stated that while others may speak out for attention, real boxing fans already understand the significance of this clash. He believes the focus should be on skill and discipline, not theatrics. For him, it's about delivering a great fight between two top athletes who respect the sport and are ready to prove themselves in the ring.
Yeah, true fight.
Yeah, two fighters.
True fight.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk shit about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight. Yeah. We don't need to talk shit about
I am sure in the end in the mid of September we will have one of the greatest fights ever happen in boxing, and I am sure of it. I am sure.
Furthermore, Coach Bullitt stated that the only reason he slightly favors Canelo over Terence Crawford is because of Canelo's natural bone structure and size at 168 pounds. He acknowledged Crawford's power, especially after his dominant win over Errol Spence, but noted that many believe Spence wasn't the same after his car accident. In Bullitt's opinion, that version of Spence wasn't elite, making this upcoming fight Crawford's first true test against someone at this level.
The bone structure at 168. See, pound for pound is a real thing. That bone structure is the only thing that's making me go 1% more to Canelo than Bud. You know what I'm saying? So, Bud is strong. They told me, oh, before he fought Earl Spence, he was strong. You know, me, Bomac, and the other trainer was going, you know, saying what we had to say to each other. And, you know, he made a good name for himself fighting Earl Spence, but the world knows that's a C-level Earl Spence that he fought after the accident. So this would be his first fight, really fighting somebody that on that level. You know, I wish he was done a couple of years earlier, but hey, you can't count Canelo out at 68. And you think he's not going to be more than ready for Bud than he was for Skull?
Coach Bullitt continued by saying that Terence Crawford is no longer obsessed and now approaches fights in a variety of ways. He praised Mayweather's unmatched brilliance in the ring, calling him a mental beast with a boxing IQ above everyone else, and said it would be unfair to compare a Mayweather-Canelo fight to a Crawford-Canelo bout. He emphasized that this is a different kind of challenge and at a different level. Bullitt expressed his happiness that both fighters secured a big payday, saying it's great for Crawford's legacy. In his view, Crawford fully deserves the chance to fight Canelo.
Terence got a totally different style to fight. You know, Mayweather is a beast. He's a freaking cerebral monster in the ring. His IQ is way farther than all these guys put together. So we can't compare that Canelo and Mayweather fight to a Bud Crawford and Canelo fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a different level for me, man. I just feel, I love the fact that they're fighting for a big bag. I love that. I love they're both gonna be laughing to the bank. I love that for Bud Crawford's legacy. You know what I'm saying? And he earned it. He deserved it to fight.
Furthermore, Kyron Davis shared his thoughts on fighting Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez, offering a fresh perspective on their upcoming clash. He noted that preparation will be key, especially as Crawford moves up to 168 pounds. According to Davis, Crawford has already been training at a heavier weight and putting in significant effort, which should help with the transition. Still, he pointed out that Canelo holds a clear advantage in terms of experience at that weight, having competed there for years. Davis described the fight as a chess match between two highly skilled boxers. While he believes Crawford has the talent and fight IQ to compete at any level, he admits Canelo's power and comfort at 168 might give him the edge. Davis leaned slightly toward Canelo as the likely winner, but added that if anyone could successfully pull off such a bold move, it would be Terence Crawford.
Been in there with Crawford? Yeah. So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is going to definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but like, you know, he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo's experience. But then you got Crawford, got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally like sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from grab that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody can do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Sebastian Fender believes Terence Crawford will lose to Canelo Álvarez due to Canelo's size and years of experience at 168 pounds. Fender praised Crawford as a great fighter, but stated that Canelo is more comfortable at that weight. He mentioned that Canelo didn't look slow against John Ryder, but rather slightly off in that particular fight. Fender also reminded fans that May 31st will be a big night for boxing, featuring both Crawford versus Canelo and Caleb Plant versus Jermall Charlo on the same card.
Canelo
I don't think so.
Why is that? Why do you?
This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting 168 for 4 or 5 years now. Crawford's a great fighter, but we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen.
Did it look like Canelo was slowing down against Skull?
No, I think it's just something he's uncomfortable with.
Mickey Bay offered a fresh perspective and expressed optimism about Crawford's potential. He mentioned that Crawford doesn't need to gain much weight for the fight. Bay believes Crawford should aim to stay between 165 and 168 pounds without going over, emphasizing the importance of maintaining his speed and movement. In his opinion, he wouldn't come into heavy. Bay explained that if Crawford stays around the mid-160s while keeping his sharpness and excellent conditioning, he might be able to outpoint Canelo. He also referred to how Floyd Mayweather managed fighting at 150 pounds by staying close to his natural weight rather than gaining too much. They thinks Crawford can follow a similar approach.
He can come in at whatever, like Floyd, like 154. Yeah, Floyd can't get up to 180, but Floyd probably was in the walk around, he can get up to 60, 65, probably when he not doing nothing. But when he trained, it's gonna drop in the 50s. So basically, when Floyd in shape, he always in his 50s, 160 and down. So when he fought Canelo, he still ain't gained weight because he might have weighed 150 and weighed 150 on fight, not at 150.
Richardson Hitchens stated that Crawford might have a chance to win. However, he noted that Crawford is not the same type of boxer as those who have previously defeated Canelo, such as Floyd Mayweather or Dimitri Bivol. Still, Hitchens believed Crawford has the intelligence and talent to create his own game plan. Known for his ring savvy, Crawford doesn't need to imitate others, but should rely on his unique style. However, Hitchens didn't expect a knockout to happen. He pointed out that Canelo has never been stopped before and questioned if even someone as skilled as Crawford could be the first to do it.
All right, my brother Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he gets to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. He didn't feel like the Jermall Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harrison. Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as that. You want to get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not, technically, that's not the Crawford that we're gonna see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68, when he's not a 68 pounder, where's the motivation? Y'all gotta think about it like
Big
that.
for Crawford.
The money is good, but I don't expect Terence Crawford to be the Terence Crawford that was knocking out Gamboa, doing all. I don't expect that type of Terence Crawford.
But does it look Canelo?
I'm not picking either one of them.
Jermall Charlo emphasized that Crawford should not try to match Canelo's size. Instead, he should protect what makes him unique: his agility, mobility, and smart fighting style. He warned that changing too much just to accommodate a new weight could lead to failure. Charlo believes Crawford must stick to his best fighting style if he wants a realistic chance of winning.
All the people who think Crawford would even have a single chance against Canelo, they're fucking stupid.
Really, you have a way with words like nobody else.
No, bro. I hate it when people say that. They're fucking stupid.
Rolando Romero saw the bout as one-sided, comparing it to Amir Khan's aborted attempt to face Canelo. Romero considered the size difference too significant to overlook. He felt that even with all of Crawford's skills, he would be unable to counter Canelo's strength and power. Romero expected the fight to end quickly and decisively in Canelo's favor. On the other hand, Eddie Hearn took a more cautious stance, highlighting Crawford's impressive career achievements. Although he acknowledged Crawford's high level of talent, He questioned whether Crawford had defeated enough top-tier opponents to be regarded among the all-time greats. Hearn pointed to Crawford's win over Ricky Burns as a major achievement, suggesting that while Crawford has been impressive, the quality of his competition might not be strong enough to solidify a legendary status.
36, 35, 30, 37, turning 38. You know? Like, and by the way, he's an outstanding fighter, but the problem is with Bud, and I said this to him on the flight, I said, you never got the chance to build an amazing resume because there was no one for you to fight. Like, and I was like winding him up. I said, tell me your best win. And he's like, Ricky Burns. That's what he said. Ricky Burns is my fighter, 3-division world champion. But I said, he was a great fighter, but he's not going to go down in history, Ricky Burns, as like an all-time great. You're telling me that was your best win? Well, Errol Spence, but even he acknowledges that Errol Spence, you know, was probably a little bit, and Bud could beat all the greats, but he never really got the chance, and that's why this fight's really important for him and to him. And after watching Canelo against Skull, and I know it was Skull, and I think he's the fresher guy in there, and I very rarely back against Canelo Álvarez, but it would not surprise me at all if Crawford won.
Jose Benavidez Sr. expressed a more pessimistic outlook, predicting that the bout will be cautious, with Crawford likely to avoid direct exchanges and stay defensive, similar to how Willie Skulls and Jermall Charlo approached their fights with Canelo. Benavidez Sr. believes Crawford won't take the necessary risks to properly challenge Canelo, and the contest may lack the excitement that fans hope for.
He's coming up 2 divisions to fight Canelo Álvarez, and you think he's going to go toe-to-toe with Canelo? Come on, man. You know, Terence Crawford's a great fighter, really good fighter, but that's too much weight for him. So he's going to try to survive and move around and try to win the round. That's what's going to happen. I think Canelo at this stage right now, his legs are not the same. You know, the body's not responding the same. So I think he's going to have problems trying to catch Terence Crawford, to be honest with you. And I think it's going to be the same fight. You know, I think it's going to be a boring fight. It's going to, I'm hoping that, you know, it's a little bit exciting because I heard that Canelo was the worst fight ever on pay-per-view to throw the less punches in history. So we're hoping to see a great fight, a good fight, but that matchup is not a matchup to be excited.
That wraps up today's video. What are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about the fight? We'd love to hear your opinions, so please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the content.